So I first met Nasser when he was a student at Lycée. He was skinny at that time, and I think he was in Senior 4. He joined debate and did debate for a few years. He was actually quite good, and what I do remember, when he was a student, he didn't like losing. He was very competitive to a point where everything was a war to him. If he didn't win, there's something that was wrong. And then later on, when he graduated, he came as a volunteer. He came in first training. He used to train at Kagarama, and then he would train, but Nasser was known to be rebellious. So he was sort of like, whatever he would see a team and he believes they can win, he would go and train them. So he used to train a lot at Kagarama. I think he also trained at Wellspring, and he was training in many different places. I do also remember that that's when he started doing a lot of, initially doing classes for people who wanted to do SATs and things like that. And he joined on as a volunteer. We worked together many times. I remember 2018, I used to do a lot of trainings for him and a few people. And then 2019 was when we were here in New Life, and he was a coach. And yeah, that's how I knew him. I used to make fun of him because I didn't know that his real name was Fiston. So every time I'll meet him, I'll call him Fiston. And then also that he was a rapper. He used to rap. So he was a man of many talents. Coming here at New Life has been quite tough, because the last time we had spent a lot of time together, we were here at New Life. And I do remember one of the nights there was an issue because one of the kids had said that he wanted to commit suicide. And I remember it was me and Frank and Nasser that were together, and we had to find a kid. Everyone was sleeping. We had to find a kid in like 400 kids. Nasser is the one who remembered who it was. And we went around, we went up, and then we went around the whole school, and then the security guards that were here stopped us. I remember they made us sit down because they're wondering why we're moving around like that. And on that night, Nasser slept he slept on the floor in the room that the kid was sleeping in, because he wanted to make sure that nothing happens to the kid. So in terms of the legacy, I think Nasser really believed in people, and he was always investing in building and training people. So I think that the biggest legacy is the people that he has trained and the people that he has coached. And we have also created an award for the best volunteer of the year in his name. And we miss him a lot. And I'm sure that his legacy will continue.
I met Nasser back in the days when I was in high school. And then mind you, nigaga ahantu kure, which was basically 4 hours from Kigali to Kirehe, Rusumo High School. And then we came to tournament for the first time, and then we did 3 debates, and then we only won 1, and then we lost the 2. And then we won on Riviera. So that itself will be motivating. Nasser koni chiko chivuye mu ntara, bavuye abo saa 10 za mu gitondo all the way to Kigali, they have 1-1. So he came next time to our school for free to help us out. Basically, I would say Nasser was a power schools coach because he never put money in front. However, if you saw the kids go tournament that are really good, that you see potential muribo, regardless where you live, regardless what amount of money you take schools, he actually came for free. And then he brought us in iDebate. He also tried to show us how we can pay back because but again also he showing us how to be judges and good judges, by the way. And then mostly again for free. So if you are supposed to go to Kagarama, Akaburumanya is like Krisha, where are you? Go Kagarama, go and train them. And then from there you get to know, you get experienced in these things of debate. And then the whole passion came out, all of that from that. Decided the things of going out, eating junk foods, burgers. Every time we order a burger, we think Nasser because he was a burger guy. He's a person who took the burger, the first burger we ate. He was outgoing and good guy and the best brother that I would say we had ever had. And then he always loved everyone when he's for the fact that all of us, some of us he gave us gigs. You're listening at some school to go to train and then you get money and stuff. So he was the best. So he used to rap around, he used to sing around, Bengali playing guitar along. He was the best vibe guy ever in a camp. So So for most of you who are wondering why is he not here, what happened, why are we talking about mostly all of this? Nasser died on 25th August 2021, and mostly it was a COVID issue. And then the next day after he got, was it a cough? Yeah, it was a cough. And then he was too much. I was like, let me go check up from Ganga. We went to Kwanyiringwaya with Watoni and Isaac. And then we were saying it's a COVID. And then the brother got hospitalized after that. After 1 day, they were like, it's too much. And then they sent him Faisal. And then Faisal, wangomga yuko wawanza kumjaplalize so that he can breathe with oxygen because with his breathing issues was more. And then after that, after 1 day again, the brother was okay, COVID was done. But again, and then respiratory issues. I had faith the brother is going to be okay because everything was literally okay. The fact you called me, the lungs had issues. And then that was the last day. We saw him talking, fine, everything was okay. We went home, and then I remember the next day I received a call from one of our brother called Marik. In the morning was like, the brother is dying, and I was like, Q, you lying? And then deep down I know he's not lying because he can't play around that kind of. And then I went Faisal, and then yeah, the brother was gone.
If
you see every person that is here running the camp, from Dani, from Boris, there is Tony, there is me, literally everyone that is here that is doing anything that is visible, all of them, you can trace back all of that, Ugasanga, there is Nasser behind. And then I'm pretty sure he would love you guys to keep on debating, be the best versions of yourself. May he rest in peace.
Throughout the whole iDebate, you can see the impact of him around. You can see Danny coordinating the camp. You can see Boris as an MC, as a person, as a great debater. So the impact of Nasser is very visible to anyone. Yeah. So in few words, the legend or the image Nasser left behind ntagigoranye cyane kuyireba because everyone yafashije, yamwigishije, yamushyizemo, he implanted the soul n'umurava yagiraga wo gufasha abantu.
I used to cry when I was in O-level and I lost a debate. I used to cry, and we had a Ugandan team, and I remember I walked out literally crying. I had tears in my eyes, and I was like, I'm going home. And I remember him literally telling me to go and redo the debate again, because I was so scared. I was so anxious. The moment I reached on stage to speak, I could not speak. I wanted to cry for some reason. And so he told me to go and redo it again and that he's gonna stay in the room and watch me do the debate. He stayed there, and as I started to speak, he was literally clapping his hands from the back, and I did so well in that debate, and surprisingly, I actually got a certificate. It's the best certificate of all certificates that I've ever got from iDebate. I remember I was the 16th in the East African Debate Tournament, and that was all because of him, because of his support. He literally sat in that class, waited for my whole speech to start and to end when he was still there, you know, supporting me, clapping, doing this. And yeah, that's the best memory of him.
He's the one who introduced me to iDebate. Ankundisha cyane na n'ibintu bya camp kuko no kuba ndi hano, it is because of him. 2019 muri camp yabaye yayijemo agarutse azambwira nyine byiza bya camp. Yarambwiye ngo nzaza, ariko numvaga nta mpamvu nyine like ngomba kuza, ariko ibyiza bya camp yambwiye like inshuti ya making hano muri camp zatumye nanjye numva mfite intumbero yo kuza muri camp. So I'm here because of Fiston. Iyo ataba ari we ntago nakabaye ndi hano. So rero ndamushimira cyane ahantu ari, ndizera ko ari kutwumva, ari kutubona. Ndatekereza yuko turimo turagerageza, ntago twakora exactly nk'ibyo yakoraga cyangwa nubwo twabikora neza nk'uko yabikoraga, but turimo turagerageza nyine gake ko tubishoboye, and we hope to see him soon. Thank you.
He was the only coach that had stepped foot in Kagarama. So when that happened, we really trusted him with what he had brought. And from then, nibwo yagiye azana n'abandi ba coaches, Coach Christian, Coach Tony, azana Coach Gogo, benshi cyane. That's when we got exposed to most of the coaches that are working with iDebate Rwanda. That is the time we got the first trophy in Kagarama Secondary School. Ndabyibuka at that time twahise dusohoka, urabizi ni inzara y'abanyeshuri ba secondaire, tujya kurya amandazi, tunywa n'ikivuguto as a sign of appreciation, ariko kandi tubikora no kugira ngo duserebure kugwitsinzi ya mbere twari dutahanye Kagarama Secondary School. Dreamers Academy Camp ya 2019 twatwaye igikombe cya advanced kubera Nasser. We slept dutinze cyane kuko he had a lot to tell us and a lot to change mu byo twari twateguye. So thank you so much Nasser.
Muri SAT class niwe wabaye umwarimu wanje wo muri SAT, yambere umwarimu mwiza, nyuma yaho yambere n'inshuti nziza. Ndabyibuka ari umunsi nasibye gukora ikizamini cya SAT, nari natinze bituma ntakora ikizamini cya SAT. Then arambwira ati ntabwo ariho birangiriye, and icyo azamfasha azakimfasha, we can still make it. And icyo kintu nacyo cyari ikintu cyiza yankoreye mu buzima, cause yatumye niheba mu gihe nari namisinze class exam ya SAT. Nishimiye kuba narahuye nawe mu buzima bwanjye. Murakoze.
So njyewe umunsi wa mbere we met, it was in Rivera. I was still a student back then. I was debating, and I hate to say this, but then Nasco were complaining about a debate, which, you know, there were some miscalculations. That's what we thought, but then I really don't know what happened. And Nasser, I remember he told me one thing, or the whole group, he said, what matters is what you're going to learn from a debate. It's not practically if you won or you didn't, because it was our first time back then. And yeah, it was really hard, like seeing the people debate, and then you are new in the field and you don't realize what is really going on, but then you keep moving in the pace. Like, he was fun, and where he was, you couldn't be like, okay, why are people sad? He was always happy, and I'm so much grateful about the impact he made in my friends. No kubona nyine ahantu bavuye kugira ngo bagere ahandi. I remember well bafasha abana bo ku muhanda, and then they were providing them, like girls, they were providing them with pads and like hosting something that made people eat and, you know, have a good time. So he was selfless himself. He didn't care about like, okay, what is happening? But he was like, what if we provide for those people? What if that worked? So he really tried to make an impact in many people's lives, and yeah, that was a good thing, and we'll forever cherish that as people. Yeah, personally, I saw them move from a phase and go to another phase because of that person, and his love stays between like everyone who knew him, and will forever keep his legacy.
Nasser was a person who used to cheer us up really well. He knew, every person to make sure that they can perform their best. And one of the things I liked about him was that as a coach, he would encourage us to do a lot of things. For example, we'd be working for the whole week, but then when he comes, he tells us you have nothing and you have to work and start from scratch again. And would come to work hard like that. A fun thing that I remember about him was that when he came to school, we used to hear of Jean-Michel, and we had not met him in person yet, starting in iDebate. And what he did was we used to think that Jean-Michel was this big person, and he really is. So Nasser was a person who would pick up your calls every time you need him, and would see this whenever we're preparing for competitions, knowing that he was not paid for all the hard work he did, but how he aspired to make friendships with everyone he was training, how he was, there for everyone that wanted to. The skills that I have now, the passion that I have now, the commitment to debate, and everything that I've been doing so far, I know that there is a bigger part Nasser has, put me or encouraged me to have, and forever I'll cherish that.
I had this kind of frustration where the school would not let us come to the tournaments. So he would contact each one of us and give us tips to be great debaters, even though the school didn't let us have debates. And one special moment that I will always remember about him, it was near the 2019 camp, Dreamers Camp. So I didn't make it because I had a knee surgery, but he would always contact me and tell me how we would the Dreamers Camp would have been a good fit for me and how it would have impacted my life.
And well, I used to cry a lot because of debate, and he found me crying because I did not get into the US tour. And then he was like, it doesn't end here. The way he went about the situation was in a fun but also teaching way. It's like a core memory to me because it really made me see that it didn't matter how many times I did not, get the chance to pass or get the win that I wanted. There was always something else to do, and there was always another step to take.